Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. A former Saskatchewan Mountie convicted of killing his former lover will spend less time behind bars. In 2024, Bernie Herman was convicted of manslaughter in the 2021 shooting death of Braden Herman. The two were not related. During his trial, court heard Bernie Herman was in uniform at the time of the killing and left Braden's body in a wooded area near Prince Albert. Herman was originally charged with first-degree murder before that was downgraded to second-degree murder. The Crown appealed to overturn Herman's conviction of the lesser charge of manslaughter. Herman also appealed his conviction and his sentence. Both conviction appeals were denied, but a judge did set aside Herman's original 11-year sentence, imposing one of 7 years, 2 months, and 9 days instead. The Crown and Defence are recommending that a 25-year-old Saskatchewan man who caused a fatal crash be handed a 2-year sentence. Earlier this year, Wiley Vermette pleaded guilty to 1 count of dangerous driving causing death and 2 counts of dangerous driving causing bodily harm following a crash that happened in Saskatoon in 2024. 22-year-old Natalie Gardapi died and 2 others were injured, including Brandy Keenach, who became paralyzed. The family spoke about how the crash changed their lives at Vermette's sentencing hearing today.
It's been really hard losing her so traumatically.
We're going to live with this for the rest of our lives. We're just trying to get through the days, day by day, and it's been a struggle, but we're trying our best.
The Crown and Defence recommend that with credit 4 times served, Vermette would spend 2 years less 5 days in a provincial jail and have a 7-year driving ban. The decision on his sentence has been reserved until June 19th. Filling up on gas is more expensive today. Depending where you live, fuel prices may have jumped by 20 cents per litre of gas. In Saskatoon, signs across the city advertise fuel at $1.89.9. Fuel prices haven't been that high since 2022 when the Russian invasion of Ukraine sent prices spiking. Analysts say the rising prices continue to be driven by the ongoing conflict in the Middle East.
It doesn't make anything better with cost of groceries and trying to, feed a family. And we live half hour to the city, so everything we have to come to the city, it's a little crazy.
$38 it cost me yesterday to fill back up again when I got back to Radisson. So it was $38 to come to Saskatoon and home again.
Some travelers say they will be altering summer plans or holding out hope prices fall in the weeks ahead. Okay, Jeff, the weekend approaches, and what kind of weather are we going to be looking at?
Well, right now we're looking at a pretty pleasant Friday and Saturday, and Sunday too for that matter, John. But then as we roll into the early part of next week, particularly Tuesday, temperatures do drop off. So yeah, I'm not going to call it a roller coaster, but certainly there's a drop off, and then we slowly build back towards seasonal values. And for Prince Albert area, seasonal by the time we get into next week should be around 15 degrees. So taking a look at what we've got going on across the Prairie provinces, the answer is not much. There is going to be, obviously, there's high pressure building in. There's going to be a low that zips across the province, but we don't anticipate it bringing much in the way of precipitation. So we'll talk about the warm numbers later on.
A new photography exhibit is now open in downtown Saskatoon, giving voice to the survivors of one of history's deadliest genocides. The exhibit features 20 black and white portraits of Holocaust survivors with ties to Western Canada. The exhibit started in Calgary and for the first time has expanded to Saskatoon at the Francis Morrison Library. It was created by 2 granddaughters of Holocaust survivors who say the installation is especially important today.
We're soon to be in a world without any Holocaust survivors, and so it's our obligation to make sure that stories are continued to be shared.
Visitors say the exhibit offers an opportunity to connect with survivors, making the history feel personal. Most Canadians have until the end of the day today to file their 2025 income taxes. Scott Hurst with some timely advice from experts.
It may seem daunting if you have not yet filed your taxes just hours before the deadline, but for so many of us, it can be beneficial too. Last year, Canadians filed more than 33 million tax returns, with 93% filed online. The Revenue Agency says backlogs and delays are being addressed in part through AI-driven modernization and claims responsiveness has doubled. In fact, according to the CRA, more than $45 billion in refunds were delivered last year, with taxpayers getting an average refund of about $2,000. Experts often suggest putting most toward debt or savings while setting aside a smaller portion for fun. A recent survey by EQ Bank found only about 9% of those expecting a refund plan to spend it on discretionary items like traveling or dining out.
Double check your slips, make sure that you've got all the slips. Look at your last year's tax return to make sure it looks consistent. This is the final chance for accuracy and completeness, because once you file it, to make changes, you have to go through a formal process to do that. So try to get things right, immediately.
Other suggestions for that refund include putting it towards a tax-free savings account, a TFSA or RRSP, a family emergency fund, or paying down high-interest debt such as lines of credit or credit cards. Today may be the deadline for most. However, if you are self-employed, you still have more time to file. Officially, that deadline is June 15th. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
A community initiative on the Cody First Nation hopes to support young parents and children. Virginia DeClute has more.
Babies now go to school on Cody First Nation, as the local school just opened a designated baby room for young parents.
I was approached by some of the instructors, like the teachers here, and they asked me how we could get their students back to school. So all the young parents that have been missing school because they're staying home with their babies.
She then invited band members, the First Nations Prevention and Health Office, along with the Tribal Council to the table.
Our best plan would be just to have them bring their baby with them. So it creates a bonding. And we have a lot of knowledge keepers here that still have their language. So the Saulteaux language is spoken in the school, and it's spoken around the babies.
The baby room is a place where students and babies alike can thrive.
So I was excited. I was excited to bring her, but I was scared at the same time because you're young and you have a baby. But I was excited.
There are currently 4 babies in the program, with one on the way.
They've been using the program now for about 2.5 months, and we've only had a few days where we didn't have anybody in here at all. So they are using it, they're getting their education out.
Everything is provided for families, from diapers to formula, while they do their homework.
They want to help us to succeed in school and to hopefully graduate.
Kadot, who was a young mother herself, hopes that they will be able to extend the program in the future. Virginia DeClute, CTV News, Cody First Nation.
9 people are set to receive the 2026 Saskatchewan Order of Merit. The Saskatoon recipients include Ann Doig, who has served as a family doctor and was president of the Canadian Medical Association between 2009 and 2010. Also from Saskatoon, Phoebe Voights, who in 1996 founded the Saskatoon Children's Choir. Saskatoon engineer Harold Orr also being recognized for his work in energy efficiency and conservation in homes. There's also Prince Albert's Donnie Peranto, who's also among the Order of Merit recipients. Peranto is an award-winning Métis musician, educator, and community leader. Artist Lionel Payachu of the Red Pheasant Cree Nation is being recognized. He's best known for his public sculptures and paintings. Saskatchewan's former Privacy Commissioner Ronald J. Kruzanitsky also among the recipients. He also served as Chief Commissioner of the Saskatchewan Human Rights Commission. From Regina, Raymond B. Blake is receiving the honor. He's considered one of the province's most distinguished historians. Chris Ekong of Regina is also being recognized posthumously for his work as a neurosurgeon serving southern Saskatchewan for 4 decades. And Melissa Morgan, also from the Queen City. She serves as an associate professor of music at the University of Regina. After the break, 5 decades of primping and pruning. How the creator of this massive hedge keeps it properly maintained. A Calgary man has spent more than 5 decades turning a few trees into a towering hedge. As Kevin Green explains, it's still a work in progress for its creator.
It started as a few modest Colorado spruce trees back in 1969. Gordon Beck nurtured them into a 10-meter-high hedge.
It just developed over the years. I never even gave a thought to what it was, the chore it was going to be when it got bigger and as I got older.
Beck's hedge stretches the length of his yard, towering above it, trimmed and shaped year after year into a dense wall of green.
Well, when I first moved here and started trimming it took me 5 hours. Now it takes me 5 days because I've slowed down and it's gotten bigger. I've created a monster.
A monster he's learned to tame, but it takes work, and at 87, he's still the one climbing the ladder to keep it in check.
Life is what you make it, you know. And if you want to stay healthy, you better get some exercise.
He still follows all the safety protocols from his days as a power lineman. Hard hat, glasses, boots, and a tethered harness. Even so, his wife Doreen finds it hard to watch.
Well, there are many times when I've threatened to take his ladders away from him.
For 2 decades, his spotter on the ground, family friend Amelia Lamb, has made sure every trim goes off without a hitch.
He tried to train me, but I'm not that strong enough to going up there. And just holding the machine by one hand, no way I can make it.
Beck's hedge has become a defining part of the neighborhood.
It's a work of art, and I walk by it almost daily. I really appreciate him and his wife and the effort they put into our community to make it a beautiful place to live.
He says those compliments help keep him climbing the ladder.
That sort of gives you a feeling of pride and accomplishment.
Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
Jeff's got the weather forecast coming up after the break, and generic weight loss drugs available in Canada, what the changes mean for people with diabetes or obesity. All right, Jeff, the final day of April, is it going out like a lion or out like a lamb?
Well, first of all, that's March's domain. But if we had to say, it would be very lamb-like, and it fits with spring, man, because we've had ourselves a very lion-like, most of April's been kind of lion-like, or polar bear-like, quite frankly. But yes, things are starting to spring up, as it were, because it's starting to feel more like it. Temperatures above or near seasonal or warmer. That's where we're going tomorrow. Not a lot to talk about across the western chunk of our country. That big high-pressure ridge is now bending right across, well, not quite into Manitoba yet, because they're still feeling a bit on the cool side. But then the trough is into parts of Ontario and Quebec, so they're anticipating a cold number of days and kind of rainy, and ultimately that will be the case for Atlantic Canada as well. So sort of a soggy situation for the eastern half of our nation. Let's take a look and see what we've got going on for our computer modeling. Well, these pressure lines aren't staying very close together, you know, so that means not a lot in the way of wind as we roll into Friday. And as you can see, we don't anticipate a lot in the way of precipitation. Maybe a little something showing up tomorrow night as we roll into you know, just before noon or thereabouts, and then into the afternoon. But that's in the far north, a little something brewing up along the Manitoba-Saskatchewan border. But again, we're not expecting a lot in the way of rainfall for those areas if it shows up at all. 3 degrees for Spiritwood overnight, 4 for the Battlefords, -2 for Candle Lake and Nipawin. We've got ourselves partly cloudy conditions throughout the region. 1 degree in Birch Hills, Roster in the same situation, and Melfort 0 degrees. And then, dun, 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 it's Friday. Let's take a look. Ooh, 21 big degrees for Spiritwood, mainly cloudy skies. 23 in the Battlefords, 16 in Candle Lake, a bit more in the way of cloud cover for Candle Lake and area. 17 degrees in Birch Hills with mainly cloudy skies, staying mainly cloudy but warming up 2 degrees. 19 in Rostern for a high. 19 as well with mainly cloudy skies in Melfort, and 18 degrees in Nipawin. So yes, for the first time in a while, we're able to say above seasonal temperatures for the Prince Albert region and surrounding Lakeland areas. -1 degree with mainly clear skies for Prince Albert tonight. Temperatures, you know, not very much colder than they would typically be this time of year. Winds out of the west 20 and they're backing off. Then as we roll into tomorrow, a high of 16 degrees, so about 1 or 1.5 degrees above seasonal, mainly cloudy skies. Winds from the southeast at 15, and just about all that snow is out of the way, but I'm sure there's some shadowed areas where it's hanging around. Saturday, the melting continues with mainly sunny skies, 14 degrees, 16 under cloudy skies on Sunday, and then bam, it just drops right off. Yes, I know, Mother Nature is teasing us. Temperatures of around 8 degrees for Monday and Tuesday, then 13 degrees on Wednesday, and 1 week from today, it's already hot again, 18, or hot by this time of year standards.
There you go. Well, I think everybody can get on board with that. It's a pretty good way to start off the month there with a nice warm Friday.
That's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, the Raiders defenseman Daxon Rudolph, he was a difference maker last night in Game 4 of their series with the Medicine Hat Tigers.
Here's Coots up the left side for Oiring, who didn't have a lane in, so he'll drop it back for Rudolph, who skates in. Rudolph to the middle, fires, scores!
Rudolph scored twice on the power play, adding 2 assists on the way to a 6-3 win on the road. He's tied for first place with 19 points in the playoffs. Aiden Oiring scored the game winner. He's got 6 points in the series with Medicine Hat. Prince Albert has outshot the Tigers in every game but the loss in Game 2, with the series tied at 2 games apiece. Game 5 returns to Prince Albert on Friday night. Food and football were on the menu this morning for the Dogs Breakfast fundraiser. Around 1,400 people were at the event hosted by the University of Saskatchewan's Husky Football Foundation. The goal is to raise more than $100,000 this year. In addition to highlighting new recruits for the team, this year saw Riders head coach Corey Mace, Glenn Suter from TSN, and CFL legend Mike Pinball Clemens talk about football and the importance of the Huskies program.
This is immense for us. I mean, it means a ton. We're going to raise north of $120,000 for scholarships for our young men. You know, at the end of the day, we ask them to do a lot, and if we can help them with a little bit of financial reprieve from their academic journey, you know, we're going to do that. And the support here today for the program for these young men is just awesome. Appreciate it.
The Dogs Breakfast is one of the largest football fundraising events in Canada. CFL Commissioner Stuart Johnston was also at the Dogs Breakfast this morning. Mike Siona asked him about the recently announced CFL playoff and schedule changes.
We love it because it really is going to reward regular season performance. Seeding is going to be so important. Top 2 teams in each division are going to play off in a seeding round, and the winner is going to get a bye to the Grey Cup semifinals. It's the race to land in 5 through 8 is going to be significant because home field advantage in our league means as much as any other league. 80% of all playoff games are won by the home team, so I can't wait to get that going.
The new format starts in 2027. The regular season schedule will start on May-long weekend, with the Grey Cup being played the first weekend of November. And the Saskatchewan Roughriders have announced some roster changes today, including the retirement of linebacker Seth Hundaby. Hundaby was picked by the Riders in 2025 and signed in November. The team says he retired from pro football to pursue a professional opportunity outside of football.
Do you have a community event you would like to promote? Or maybe you'd like to draw attention to your organization. Let your local CTV station help you spread the word. Contact us at 306-922-6020 or email panews@ctv.ca. You can appear on CTV Prince Albert's News at 5 and get your message to our viewers.
Canada has become the first G7 country to approve a generic version of Ozempic and its sister drug Wegovy. The move has many wondering what the change will mean for people living with diabetes or obesity. Genevieve Beauchemin has the details.
Months after Ozempic's patent expired, Health Canada has given a generic the go-ahead. And the approval of India's Dr. Reddy Laboratories' copy has been applauded by many patients and advocates.
And there hasn't been a whole lot of options available.
Obesity Canada's Eaton Patton says for him, semaglutides have been life-changing.
I had this voice in the back of my head always chirping at me, talking about, with that uncontrollable food drive. And having a treatment that allows me to gain control has been very, very impactful.
Like Ozempic, says Health Canada, the generic injection is indicated for the once-weekly treatment of adults with type 2 diabetes. But around 3 million Canadian adults currently take medication like Ozempic for diabetes and obesity. Still, doctors say some patients who would benefit steer clear because of money.
You might not be able to have access if you didn't have the economic means or the right plans. So I think it increases equity.
The drug costs about $228 a month. Health Canada says many generic medications are 45 to 90% cheaper than the brand versions. And that price could go down with more generics on the market. Health Canada is reviewing 8 other submissions. That could also reduce expenses for provincial and private drug plans deciding to cover the generic. Experts applaud accessibility but also warn against minimizing potential side effects.
This is a drug. It's not a candy. It's not a supplement. It is a medication.
The generic dosage approved now is for the treatment of diabetes, but advocates are watching to see what other generics will come and what the impact will be on the costs. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
The Saskatchewan Health Authority will soon post temporary emergency service disruptions on its website at least twice a day at 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. The change will be in effect May 19th. Last November, the SHA began posting disruptions once a day. The NDP has been calling for better reporting of ER disruptions, while the province says it's been working on solutions.
Brought to you by Saskatchewan Union of Nurses. Thank you to Saskatchewan's 11,000 registered nurses.
Again, Jeff, we're doing our part as far as pushing ourselves into warmer weather. And with warmer weather comes sort of music season and festival season. And that's what we're going to talk about right here. Sask has come on board as the new sponsor of the free performances at this year's Sask Jazz Festival. I don't know what I could get more of, that weather or that music, but organizers made the announcement this morning. People can watch the shows at no cost throughout the festival at various locations, including Victoria Park, the Alt Hotel, and others. Sask Jazz Festival runs July 5th to 11th, and I know where Jeff's going to be July 5th to 11th, right?
Well, there are so many ways to take in Jazz Festival, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's part of the many festivals we have going on.
There you go. Can't wait. I'm looking forward to it.
Right on.
Shorts and T-shirt ready.
Whee!